My name's Christian. I go by Egg Roll for the CVCC esports team, and I am half Hispanic and half Asian. My dad, he's Guatemalan, and my mom is Hmong. Like, you wouldn't expect them to meet each other because they're kind of on opposite sides of the earth, but they still met each other somehow. So I was born actually in Valdez, North Carolina. That's where they met as well. My dad, though, he lived in Guatemala up till he was 16, and then he illegally immigrated up to what is it, New Mexico? He went to New Mexico through there, and then routed all the way to Florida and back up to Morganton, North Carolina, which is like next to Valdez. It's like only 5-10 minutes. My dad, he was in the process of becoming legal, and he had to be sent back to Guatemala for like 6 years, and it took a while. And during those 6 years, we'd visit him, and that's kind of where I got to figure out and kind of live in Guatemala a bit. It was nice. It's really rough down there. Very beautiful place though. Like, there's a lot of like, what makes it beautiful is the culture, and most of it being the music. Every time I go there, all I remember is hearing like my favorite part was the marimbas. Like, it's just everywhere. They have marimbas. They're selling it inside of mercados, which is markets in Spanish. They have it like on the streets. Like, music is a big part of them. I would definitely say the quality of life is lower. It's a beautiful place, don't get me wrong, but it's just everybody's more. You don't have TVs or, your common folk nowadays, like, they'll have a cell phone on them. Over there, if they have a cell phone, they're living lavishly. My grandparents over there, or my abuela, she lives with my tia Gloria and Tio Pablo inside of a house where they have, I think it's like 7 kids, 8 kids, something like that. And they're all living off of hand-me-downs that we give from our own home, because I have clothes I don't wear almost all the time. I send them down there for them. So my dad, Hispanic, he cooks Hispanic foods like salsa verde with chicken. That's a pretty basic one, but it's pretty good. I don't know what he cooks. It's like beef soup, but you could tell it's Hispanic because it tastes Hispanic. I don't know how to explain it, but it's really good. And then my mom, she makes egg rolls, which is kind of where I got my name from. We make egg rolls, so I named myself Egg Roll. I get who I am from my parents, and my dad, him being from Guatemala made him who he is today, and he taught me the things that he learned in Guatemala too. I want to learn more about my culture because it's something I've never really delved in. Like, I'm supposed to be trilingual. I know English, I'm supposed to know Spanish, and I'm supposed to know Hmong. I don't know either of those, except for English, obviously, but I don't know either of them, and I would definitely love to learn more about my culture. So a lot of us in this esports arena, we pride ourselves in diversity, and me being a part of a group of people, being the Hispanics and Asians, I'm able to kind of mingle with them more easier, but I still talk to the other people too. And one thing that I really enjoy about this place is the whole push towards being a family. It's something that we kind of accept over here, and I love every single second of it. The way they found out that I was Hispanic Asian was actually funny to me. For the longest time, both Omar and it wasn't Omar actually, it was Osmar. He's the brother of Omar. Osmar and Krillin both thought I was Filipino. I'm not Filipino. I'm actually Hispanic Asian, half of it being Guatemalan, and they thought it was a funny moment. Had I not been a part of this program, I probably wouldn't have people to look up to hang out with. A lot of what I do, I live 30 minutes from campus, and I don't have that many friends outside of school and esports actually. And rarely have I met someone that is Hispanic and Asian. Being a part of CVCC and them trying to indulge itself into diversity allows me to mingle with people that are of the same race of me, along with people that aren't. Yeah, I don't know where I'd be. Honestly, I don't even want to think about it because just being here makes me happy. To represent my culture in gaming, it makes me me. And that's definitely something that I take pride in. And it's something that I will take with me to top levels of what I do here. If I can go pro, I would love to go pro. But realistically, I would love to graduate from a 4-year and get a degree in computer science. I don't exactly come from a rich family. We're not exactly the wealthiest, but we're also not the poorest. We're right in the middle. And because of that, I don't get a lot of financial benefits from FAFSA. So this year I kind of had to work and pay for my own things, be it, my college books, my tuition. Having some sort of support would be really, really cool and something I would actually treasure for the rest of my life.
Hello, my name is Omar, and my name is Osmar, and we are both Mexican, and we are from Hickory, but originally our family are from Somerete, Mexico. Originally, my mom is from Somerete. She came here like 2004, like when we were born.
Like 2003.
Late 2003, early 2004. She originally moved to Florida, then moved up here to North Carolina, and had both of us. And we have 2 other siblings that were born in Mexico that came with her. It makes me really proud, and I'm happy that I was born into a Hispanic family because it's just amazing. I'm happy that I learned to speak Spanish, not very well, but at least I have a deeper I'm connected deeper into my culture because of that.
Even then, I might not feel like I'm from Mexico, but I do feel that strong culture ties with my family.
We've never been to Mexico, so we're very eager to visit Mexico. We're up in the summer.
Yeah.
And learn more about our culture. She used to live on a ranch, and she would tell us about our grandfather and how they ran a ranch down there. She did tell us it was in the parts where she lived, they didn't have a lot of money, so it was pretty dangerous to live there, and it still is, which kind of sad to see. It hasn't improved the conditions, but she told us that she's happy that she had the opportunity to leave Mexico and find a stable situation here in the United States. I'm happy that we have a dedicated month to celebrate our heritage.
And it's not just Mexicans, every single Hispanic country.
I like to see other people's stories and try to relate to them and see how they grew up as a Hispanic and learn more about other Hispanics. For example, Eji is Guatemalan. I would like to learn more about his upcoming and his culture as a Guatemalan. Or Sky, the Brazilian, learn more about them. I was shocked that we have such a diverse group in here and that we have the opportunity to play games competitively and try to aim for a 4-year.
I just feel like I'm not on the Valorant team, I'm on the COD team, but I just feel like such a rich, diverse team overall. It just makes me feel proud, especially with lots of Hispanic and Latinos in this team.
I love meeting other Hispanics and Latinos and trying to connect with them, Crash, Mexican, un hermano ahí. And I just love it. It's honestly one of the best things that's happened to me because I feel really connected, a big family in here. Last year, it was a very low point in my life. I was not happy with myself, and this gave me something to be excited and start to change. It was a new opportunity, a new fresh start, and I'm thankful that this exists, and I would I want more people to learn about this so they would have I want to work towards going to CVCC and actually experiencing the esports if they're into games, obviously.
And same here, last year during my senior year, it was a tough point with low grades, just barely making out of high school. And here, I actually do want to strive to be in this team. It makes me feel proud that I can be here, play with other players, and just be happy. I don't want to think like what my brother Omar said. I don't want to think if this wasn't here. I don't want to think that.
Because if this wasn't here, I would have not. I was thinking about not even going to college.
Yeah.
At all.
I was thinking about going to workforce actually.
I didn't even know what I was gonna do after. Being a twin, it's amazing. It's like my other half.
Literally.
If he did not exist, I would not function without him.
Same.
I love this man
love
with
him
all my heart.
Like he is irreplaceable.
Literally, I could not live without. If it was someone else, no.
I can't.
I could not. But and it's funny that we have practically the same name too.
Like everyone confuses me with for him and vice versa, and especially me. My name's Osmar, so they say Osmar, Osmar. I have to correct all the time saying it's Osmar, not Osmar. So it's kind of annoying, but I'm so proud to be a twin to him.
We're the first twins in this program. Like, let's go, and we're Hispanic. Like, it's. I feel better about myself because I have someone to come along with me to like my journey and my.
And same here.
That I won't ever be alone. I always have someone to fall back on.
I can never say I'm alone because I'll always have my brother to be by my side.
Growing up, there really wasn't any Hispanic gaming figures that I really knew about, and I could set a precedent or like I could become one of them. But right now, it's just like I love it because I've always wanted to do something in gaming, especially as Hispanic, because I've primarily seen white guys and no one that looked like me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to strive to be someone and be a role model for the younger generation. Well, I just want to thank my mother for allowing me to like pursue this opportunity in gaming and allow me to choose what I want to do in my life, and always supporting me throughout the way.
If it wasn't for her, I don't know what to do.
Like,
she's just been that force that supports us for all our lives. And I'm grateful for her. I'm thankful for God for all this.
And I'm always representing her every single day I go out in the world. I'm representing my mother and her character. And she said, I don't care what you do, just do something that makes you happy and it doesn't matter if it's a short career or a long career, just do something that you enjoy and makes you money. I'm happy that she understands us a lot. I just want to do content creation. I just want to make content. I just want to tell people, tell stories about people, something in that realm.
I'm still kind of up in the air, but I've been enjoying my program study with air conditioning. I think that I like to work at a company here in the area. So I work with my mom and make a good amount of money.
My name is Jesus Andrade Chavez. I was born here in the United States, here in North Carolina, and my heritage is from Mexico. I have my parents from there. My mom is from Hidalgo, and my dad is from Michoacan. More towards the southern regions of Mexico, more towards the heart and center of it, not where Mexico City is at, although Hidalgo is like an hour away from it, and then Michoacan is a little bit further south to the right of it. I was there around the age of 15 when I went to go visit my grandparents. I think it was a big culture shock for me at the age of 15 because I was so used to life that was up here. I had a roof over my head, I had some heat, I had a lot of things, and whenever I visited my grandparents visiting on the ranch, I only got to visit Hidalgo. I never got to visit Michoacan because, as some of the rumors that have it, Michoacan is very gang related, very heavy towards violent activity. So I got to visit my grandparents in Hidalgo, and it was mostly living on a ranch. It was not the greatest living circumstances half the time. I remember our walls were made out of concrete. It was very tiny space, a living space. We didn't have a bunch to eat, but we always had something to eat. It was never the best food I've ever had, but at the same time, not the worst. Mexico, I always had to heat up my water to shower and stuff like that. We'd have a metal rod that heats up to electricity, and then you just stick it in a bucket of water to take a shower with. So it was definitely a culture shock for me whenever I was at that time. it was completely different from what I was used to having like a shower base. It was not the greatest. I would have to like use a cup and just pour it over my head. For them, it was complete hardships. It was never an easy way of just growing up. For me, I felt like I've had a similar upbringing, especially here in the United States, where it was never given. You don't have a free lunch. I've always grown up with them, always on my back with telling me like, you gotta be successful, you gotta like make it out. Because they took the risk to jump over here because they didn't see themselves living out there. Like they saw themselves struggling a whole bunch. With the stories that my mom told me, my dad told me, it was a completely different standard of living. I mean, I've always had my parents behind my back for every stupid little thing that I did as a kid, but I don't think I've had it as bad compared to them. Because I'm Hispanic, I didn't really know that we celebrate for being Hispanic. I just thought it was just a normal human thing to be from a different culture. I know I have a different foods, different cultures, different practices, but I don't think it's ever tore me apart from other people. I just grew thinking that my normal is everybody else's normal until I hit school. But until I realized I was the only Hispanic in my school, I could tell you're the outcast, you're a different person compared to almost all white school. I've learned how to treat people the same no matter what, no matter where they come from or how they identify as. I don't think I've ever asked for much, and if I do, and I'm gonna find a way to do it. That's how I got into gaming in a way. I didn't build my PC until like 2-3 years ago. I didn't plan on coming here one little bit. I kind of just found the program through the CBC website. I was like, what schools have this and this? Because I was applying to Appalachian, UNCC, a whole bunch of other four-year universities, but the complications of FAFSA came through where paperwork wasn't missing and stuff like that, so I never got that awards letter to actually even go. So I was looking at CBC programs and I didn't know what I was going to do for my life. I was kind of just thinking maybe I'd just work for the rest of my life because I've already been doing it for so long at Chick-fil-A. And then I found the program online and I was like, that's actually really interesting. I've been playing Valorant for so long, maybe for like a year and a half now that it was out for, and I was like, maybe they have a Valorant team and maybe I can join that. And that's how I kind of like saw it through online, and I was like, okay, I'm applying there immediately straight after I saw that announcement. 4 hours in, completed my FAFSA application and did all the paperwork I needed to. With this program, I think it's definitely changed the outlook of what I want to do as a career, but at the same time, my primary goal is maybe go pro, and if not go pro, work somewhere around this game alone where it's either commentating, working as video production, or even sports management, where I'm working behind the scenes in the esports industry. I mean, my parents aren't very fascinated with video games, they just see it as a pastime. So I want to make a career out of it. I want to prove people wrong, not just them, but also prove that I'm worth something.
So hi, my name is Garcia. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I moved to Hickory when I was like 3 or 4. A little bit of a background. My mom came to the United States when she was 18. So she came to Atlanta first. All my family was there. Then she moved to Hickory because all my uncles, my aunts came over here because it was more better. And Atlanta was starting to get more packed people, and it was just good. Well, I was raised just by my mom. My dad left when I was 3. So basically it's just me and my mom. She taught me everything I know right now. Be a good person, be a good man to you, everybody in your family. Until when I was 10, my stepdad came in the picture, and he's really impacted my life. He made me who I am more right now as of today, and my stepdad really had a struggle to get where he's at right now. He came to the United States when he was 15, and he didn't have like a nice home. His home was made out of just wood and plastics and banners they would take down. It wasn't good, so I had a chance to visit where he lived originally, and it it was devastating because we don't appreciate what we have right now as he did. So yeah, it was a struggle. So yeah, he did struggle, and every time he tells me the story how he became who he became, it makes me tear up a little bit because it's hard being where you come from and getting to where he's at right now. So he does masonry. He builds houses, foundations, everything, and I go help him out. And even though his job is really hard, he tells me, "Hey, go study. I don't want you doing this, what I'm doing right now. I want you being in an office with AC, with doing this, doing what you like. That's the main concern, doing what you like." And I was like, yeah, I wanna have my own office. I wanna work in the AC, not in the outside, cause me in the summer I work outside, and the hot temperatures, you just all dripped out and sweat. But you know you do it for a purpose. You help out your family. You feel good about yourself once you receive that check every Friday. But yeah, it's a struggle, and that's why I'm pursuing a business major, and I'm also doing general contracting. So my stepdad, he would heat up his water in the fire, and he didn't have a shower. He had to do it like in a bucket and just wash them out. He didn't have no shower, have no toilet, all that stuff. Nothing. Just a little shed in the middle of nowhere. He was fortunate enough to build his parents like a nice home when he was 26. So it's way better now. Like, they have bathrooms, everything, the essentials, a kitchen. He didn't have a kitchen. It was all making in the pile of wood, finding wood, and feeding his four brothers and sisters. I'm proud of my family. I love my family. I'll do anything for my family. They put me up here. Hopefully next year or the following year I'll go to university because of them. So I'm just very proud of that. And yeah, it's different. We do a lot of things different. Believe in different things, but we're just people at the end of the day. And that's it about the Hispanic culture. That you don't know people, but you tell them, hey, come here, your family. That's the good part. We celebrate it like we go out in public and they throw like these little parties in downtown Hickory, and just as a community they all come together. Everybody's welcome, even if you're not Hispanic, you're not Latino. Everybody's just welcome. So I was actually up there in the like student center where all the seats and tables are at, and I look down over here and I see like kids playing video games and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I told my girlfriend, I was like, hey, should I join? What should I do? She was like, yeah, you should join. I mean, you know how to play Smash Bros. You like playing it. And I was like, but I'm nervous. And she's like, no. Get them jitters out, get all that out, and go apply. So she helped me fill out the applying thing and the sheet. And yeah, so now we're here, thank God. And yeah, hopefully go compete and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I've never done this, so I think it's very neat having different backgrounds, different ethnicities. And I think it's very great having Mexican and all these country folks from. Yeah, it's pretty neat. If I wasn't around here, I think it would be different. I'll just stick to working and just not having like something to actually pursue your dreams. Like that last semester, I didn't really do good in school. It was just not good for me. I was in a good spot right back then because I was stressing about job and I was stressing about school, and that wasn't good for me and my mental health. But right now, I'm actually boosting up my grades, and CBC Esports is making me boost them up even more because there's a certain requirement you have to meet in order to participate in this team. So I think that's what's helping me go out. That's why I also choose esports as something to actually pursue my grades and make them more higher than expected.
My name is Nistro Ordonez, and my dad and my mom. My dad is from Honduras and my mom is from Mexico. You know, it's hard as a Hispanic, imagine yourself having to leave your parents behind or your whole family. And it's hard, because you're going to a new place that you don't know if you're ever going to come back, or you're not going to see you might not even see your parents anymore, because you're going to a place where if you go in and if you go out, it's going to be hard to go back in, because one, because of money wise, and two, it's hard to come in here. Well, the stories that my mom, because my dad never really told me about like how difficult it was. I've never asked him, but I've asked my mom. My mom told me it's hard because first, whenever you come, there's some days that you don't eat. There's some days that you don't drink water. I've actually went to Honduras, but I haven't went to Mexico. Honduras, it's I see why people try to come over here. It's a very, not disrespecting them or anything, but where I went, it's a very poor country. You see kids with torn shirts. They walk barefooted. The water, you don't know if it's good or not. Food is very expensive. There's people that they eat bare minimum. And whenever I went first time in 2014. I would see kids, barefooted or without shirts because they couldn't afford it. And I guess that really, I don't know, it's hurtful to see kids not be able to have the stuff that in America we have. And I'm extremely grateful that I'm here. There was some days that I would go outside of the house barefooted because I didn't want to make them feel bad. And it was, it's, for them it's, they're used to being barefooted, but for me, whenever I tried it out, because I didn't want to make them feel bad because I had stuff and they didn't, whenever I would walk out the house barefooted, all the rocks, they were hurt. And I can't imagine how those kids every single day, they go outside, they do their normal activities barefooted. Kids don't really get a lot of education over there because whenever you're a kid, they put you to work. Because it's, families don't have enough money over there. There's been moments in my life that, that you just, stuff gets hard and you just want to quit. But going back to and thinking about what your parents did for you makes you still continue going. And I'm very grateful about the education that you get here because of your parents. Graduating high school for Hispanic is such a big thing because I'm the first, what do you call it, first generation? Yeah, I'm the first generation of graduating in high school and coming to college. And it's really, really amazing because, you got other people that are like third generation, fourth generation, and so on and so on. And for me to be the first generation, I guess sometimes it put so much stress over me because I was like, oh, I need to graduate, and I'm going to graduate. And also, just a pride with my family because of how much they sacrificed. And on that day, whenever I graduated, I could see the biggest smiles that they've ever had because I graduated and, knowing, and me, myself, knowing that how much they sacrificed, that they did, that sacrifices that they made weren't just for nothing, but for actually for something. And it's really amazing about that. And coming to college also, it's really amazing about how, again, I'm the first generation, and knowing that, like I said, knowing other people are like third generation and so on and so on, and I'm being honored and having that pride that I'm the first generation of my family graduating from high school and being a college student. I've been playing video games ever since I was 7 years old. Before that, 6. The only games that I would play is those I forgot, Blackberries. You know how they had those is that a snake game? I think that's what it's called. That's whenever I started playing. But then later on, that my first console was actually on Nintendo 64. My favorite game was always Mario Kart. Mario Kart on Nintendo 64, and also one of my other favorite games on that console was I think it's Banjo. I think it's called something Banjo. I forgot the name of it. It's I think it's
Banjo-Kazooie.
yeah, Banjo-Kazooie. That's what it was. I love that game, and I mean, I won't lie. Whenever, I mean, I was a little kid, whenever I would see the witch, because that game had like a witch, I would get terrified, and then that's when I would turn it off. But esports, I mean, whenever I came here to CVCC, I didn't know about the esports. At first, I was coming to CVCC because the college program that I was going to was computer engineering technology. And whenever I remember it was late at night, and I was just scrolling on my phone. And then whenever I was trying to log in on my portal, whenever I went to athletics because I wanted to see if CVCC had a soccer team, because I played soccer for South Catawba High School. And whenever I went like scrolling on like the athletics, that's whenever I saw esports, and I was like, esports, like what is that? Because I never heard about esports. And so whenever I clicked on esports, that's whenever I saw like a picture of all this room, and I was like, wow, this looks really, really amazing. And I mean, I love soccer. Soccer's always been a part of me. And well, FIFA, I've always loved FIFA. The first FIFA game that I always played was FIFA 12, if I'm not wrong. I got used to FIFA 13, 14, 15, and ever since I played all the FIFAs. And well, I don't really want to say, I guess I was a natural on it because I know how to play soccer and stuff, and I really love the game. This program is just absolutely amazing. The people in here is absolutely amazing. I'm extremely grateful for how they took me in. I mean, I get along with everyone. Everyone's absolutely very nice. I won't lie, the first day that I got here, I was very, very nervous. I'm a very nervous person, but whenever I get used to the people, I start talking. I'm a very talkative person, but at first I'm very shy. But I'm extremely grateful for everyone about how they just took me in, like if they already knew me from a long time. Whenever I get my degree, I want to talk to teachers if there's like internships, so or even before getting my degree, I want internships to what's it called, figure out what I want, because the degree, I'm pretty sure the degree, you can do a lot of different stuff. For me, telling my story about my family, I feel like it's really, really amazing for me to share my where my family came from, why am I here also. So I think it's very amazing, and I'm very thankful that people are wanting to know about our story and our history.
My name is Hector San Maria. I play Call of Duty Vanguard and also Valorant for the CCC Esports, and my parents are originally here from America, but my roots come from Mexico, from Guerrero, Michoacan, in the region of Tierra Caliente. Well, my parents, they both came from different backgrounds from growing up. Well, my mom grew up in California mainly, while my father, he grew up in Mexico for like 10 to 12 years and moved up here in the US around, he was like 13, 14. And him was just more about like, he's seeing my grandparents working, especially my grandpa working in the fields or like in a farm, and while my mom, while she was in California, she's seeing how my grandpa was working in the fields over there. America was built of immigrants. It wasn't just white folks, black folks, it was built from people all over the world. So think about it. Like, if without Hispanics, we wouldn't really have the food that we would have here. Okay guys, for the record, Taco Bell is not Hispanic food. Let's just get that out of the way, all right? Taco Bell is not the move. Go to taco trucks, literally. You can support local businesses when you go to a taco truck. It supports a family, a group of people who are working, and that's just a Hispanic family making money for their family to feed. I take pride in my culture every day. I always like to share about when people ask about it or when I try out my food. So I think instead of being a month, I think of it more as a yearly thing for me because I'm a Hispanic. I live it every day, so I'm prideful of my race and culture. We did many things. I know there's some bad things that you do, but I mean, you just gotta grow from it. Everybody's race, culture, and stuff did some bad things in the past, but you just grow from it and learn from it. And I think literally every day is just Hispanic heritage for myself. I grew up playing video games. My dad especially was kind of the main source of me. He wasn't a big gamer growing up, but he did like playing video games like Super Nintendo with Super Mario, Contra 3, and that's where I grew up starting on. But then once I kind of was living in Georgia a little bit with my grandparents, because I was like little, but my uncle, he had a PlayStation 2, and that's why I started picking up other games like Ratchet and Clank, and Jack and Daxter, some Dragon Ball, which is one of my favorite animes as well. And then after that, I got my own GameCube, which I started playing Mario Kart, and then it just kept going on from there. And then once I got a PlayStation 3, I was like maybe around 8 or 10. I played Modern Warfare 2, which was the first like Call of Duty that I got into. And then after that, I just fell in love with Call of Duty. I kept playing the new releases, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3, and on. And now Vanguard Modern Warfare 2019 brought me back to the roots of Call of Duty, and now Vanguard right here, I'm playing it competitively, which pretty much brings me back to where I started playing games heavily. The experience here at CUCC for the esports team, I really enjoyed my time here. I'm having a great time meeting new faces, seeing people looking through the window, seeing what we're doing, people asking about what do you guys do, what games do we play. So I get questions like those all the time. Like every time I wear a jersey, or they just see like I'm part of the CUCC esports, or like, so what do y'all do, what games y'all play? And I'm just saying, bro, it's a good time here. We're all like friendly, just come in here and chill. If you want to talk to us, come play games with us. I mean, we're just a very welcoming community here at the esports, and playing in the all minority Vanguard group, it's just great. I love the guys to death. Probably we gotten close, pretty much a brotherhood. We like cutting up a lot. It's just fun with these guys. I just have a blast with them. It's just great. Well, this has brought a lot of joy to me in my life. It's something to look forward to each day. And without it, I just think I'll just be coming to school boring, just leave right after class, go home, do homework, and just play video games for myself. So there's a whole bunch of people here who play all sorts of games. I've met people who play the fighting games, playing Call of Duty, Valorant, and sometimes we just all play a random game together. It's just a whole new group just to play with, but it's just not really a group. It's more like a family, I would say now, because we gotten so close. We do a lot of stuff together out of school, during school. So I think it's just great. It's just something to look forward to now, and it just helps me push harder to get my grades up so I can still play and yet be looked out and scouted from other schools. Seeing other Hispanic gamers or different cultures or backgrounds actually makes me pretty happy, and see the diversity that we have on the team, because if you think about it, I know how it is when some Hispanic parents they could be very strict when it comes to their children, and they won't allow them to do a lot of things that they want to do. And I'm just seeing them being able to do something that they love, which is playing video games competitively, it just kind of brings me like, oh my gosh, we're getting more, because I kind of went to an all-white school. It was dominantly white, but there was like diversity in there, but like growing up, it was just kind of just seeing, I'm not trying to, but seeing the diversity here in this team, Hispanic, Asian, Black, whatever your background is, your ethnicity, it's just great seeing that. So I'm just, whoever you are, we just welcome you, and I'm just glad that we see a lot more diversity in this team. After this 2-year, I'm going to transfer, get my bachelor's in exercise science, and then get my master's in exercise science, so I could become a physical therapist or physician assistant. And if things turn out well for me in the Twitch community and the competitive community, hopefully I could start something right there. But as right now, I'm focused more on my education and getting my degree.
I'm Melbourne in the server, as you might know me, or also on the back of the jersey. It says Ace is what I used to go by. But a lot of people call me around here, they call me Lee. I'm very proud being from Brazil, where if any of you have watched like soccer games or just any type of game in Brazil, we're really competitive and really proud about what we do. So like when I'm popping off, I'm just like, let's go, and I get really hyped, and I feel like I'm channeling that energy that's like inside of me to just get like really hyped over nothing, which is really good in an esports standpoint, because not only are you feeling good about yourself, but you make your teammates feel good, and then that happens vice versa. But it's really in the competitive nature of it. Just I'm a very competitive person when it comes to that. But so both of my family were U.S. citizens, but I was born over there, so I had dual citizenship. Just coming over here, the language barrier and all that was a huge struggle that I had to climb over, and we finally have climbed over it now. And then just having like 3 Hispanic teammates on the team as well, it not only makes me feel like I'm not alone, because they all know what I went through. They all went through like the language barriers that I went through and whatnot. But then also we can help each other grow, because we all like sometimes I have to ask them what a word means, which is really funny. I would be like, what's that mean? And they'll explain it, or like they'll ask the same question, and I'm just like, oh, that means this. And we kind of help each other really well in that way, and so it's a little more funny banter at times. Just from both being from South America, but one from Mexico, one from Brazil. Everyone, if you know about the soccer team rivalries that happen between Mexico and Brazil, are massive. That's always great mashing there, and we always have some great banter about it. Brazil #1. But besides that, it's just it makes me feel more closer to home. Having people that that know that what I went through, and I understand what they went through. We understand each other on another level. And we have a lot of great energies here, and we all just kind of mash really well. It was like a second family, I guess, especially around that time I really needed that. I was in a pretty low point. I had just been laid off, so my grades were subpar, if not under par. I feel like I was in like a really, really deep place, and then I remember I joined this Discord, I met some people, I joined the D&D group, and I was like, this is amazing. And then just joining the team and overcoming like obstacles with the team, and just overall this time, it really, really saved me from a really bad, dark place in my life. And hopefully support from this community here would really help us. I know we're lacking on like setups and computers, and we just keep growing and growing and growing. And hopefully by the time that I leave, we're like surpassing 40 members. That'd be ideally goal.